my friends. Happy Tuesday and quick weather check. Yes, it is hot and sunny in San Diego. It's actually been really hot and a bit humid, so it's kind of weird, but interesting. Good morning. For those of you who do not know, I am Andrea Kuchin. I am part of PhD in follow-up. See, PhD in follow-up. You can find out more about what we do at phdinfollowup.com/Andrea Kuchin. And that gives you some information as to why are we PhD in follow-up, and this is My Home Biz Tips. This is My Home Biz Tips because we're giving tips mostly to do with marketing, but also all sorts of business admin to business owners, because with our PhD in follow-up work, we realize that marketing is not most small business owners' strong suit. So we are helping with that. And today I'm actually talking quite on topic, which is not always the case, but today it is. So if you have questions of any kind, reach out to me by email, andrea@phdinfollowup.com. You can also call or text me on 858-252-1190. That's 858-252-1190. You can join our Facebook group, which is where we broadcast live. It is PhD in follow-up, because PhD in follow-up, in other words, when you're great at doing follow-up, you get more loyal customers and referrals. And if you're busy, it helps to have systems in place. I do talk about systems a lot, so you probably know all about that from me talking about it before. So I'm just making sure that I've given you all the information I can about myself before we get started. Back to my name, Andrea Kuchin. So last week, I seem to remember that I was talking to you about mindset and whether it's important. And I very controversially said, no, I don't think it is. And I still hold that by that. And I always have held by that, because you can use my mindset isn't quite there as an excuse not to do stuff. Or you can do it anyway. And that changes how you feel. And how you feel is all about the thoughts in your head. So arguably, how you feel is also your mindset. That is not just a theory. When I give you information, it's not me having ideas and theories and thinking, oh, this is interesting. I'm giving you workable stuff, workable tools, workable systems, workable ideas. This is a workable idea. I've seen it in lots of different environments, in lots of different ways, with kids doing sports, kids doing homework, kids eating broccoli, husbands doing this, that, and the other, and friends and family and colleagues and team members and clients. It's the same. You can choose to let the way that you feel, think, mindset, this isn't going to work. I'm not good enough. I haven't prepared enough. I've got imposter syndrome, whatever it is. I'm not really a PhD at all. What a silly name. Whatever it is, you can let that stop you. Or you can just go, okay, I'm going to do this and do it anyway. And then when you get good results, which you will, it's always a mathematical certainty, you will get good results. You'll feel better. Try it and see. Hang on a minute, a bit thirsty. Just one sec. Now, there are rules, unwritten, unspoken rules about what you can do and what you can't do. For example, we all know how annoying it is when someone reaches out on social media and says, hey, you need this. You must watch this video because you need my product. It's like, hello, excuse me. And we've talked about that before, about how there are certain things that you don't do. If I said to you, I want you to write an email today to all the clients you worked with last year, asking for a referral, you'd go, oh, no, I can't do that. Okay, so there are rules, whether they're real rules or not real rules, or your own rules or somebody else's rules, they still apply, right? That's why there are scripts that work better than others, right? There are strategies that work better than others because some of them abide by the rules, if we're going to call it that, and some don't. The rules of behavior. Now, the rules of behavior in the whole wide world used to be incredibly strict and strong and rigid, and we've changed dramatically, even in our work environment. I remember when years ago, somebody introduced the idea that we might have something called Casual Friday in the office, and we might actually not have to wear a suit in the office. And for the first few months, people were wearing suits that had a different color. I mean, instead of wearing black and navy blue, they'd wear pale gray or beige or something. Still, nobody was wearing jeans. Nobody was wearing sneakers. You'd still wear your sneakers on the way to work, or your trainers, depending on where you live, what you call them, and then put your proper shoes on when you got there. And now, people seem to be turning up at work in their pajamas. Okay, if they work from home. No, I'm not. Before you ask, no, I'm not wearing my pajamas. And I don't wear my pajamas, but I've seen kids go to school in pajama bottoms and a sweatshirt, right? I know they're pajama bottoms, and masses of kids are doing that. Now, this is in America where there's no such thing as school uniform, but even in England where in the schools where there isn't a school uniform, there are still rules. Okay, I'm digressing. There are rules of behavior. And I have found something incredibly interesting recently. I've been talking to clients and business owners and friends, and it turns out everybody seems to have a completely different set of rules for themselves than they do for everybody else. Now, I'm not talking about, you should go to the gym every week being told to you by somebody who doesn't do that. I'm not talking about that kind of thing. I'm not talking about people being hypocritical or not keeping their word or anything like that. That's maybe a conversation for another day. I'm talking about acceptable behavior and what you consider to be acceptable for you to do and what you find acceptable for you to experience. Okay. And I have found that there are clear dividing lines between those things, and I wonder why. I'll give you an example. Being late. Most of you wouldn't be late for an appointment. I mean, you do everything in your power to not be late for an appointment, whether it's a Zoom meeting or you're meeting your colleagues at Starbucks before you go off to an event, or you're meeting a prospective client in their office. It doesn't matter. For some people, it does seem to, but it shouldn't matter. An appointment is an appointment, right? And you do everything you can in your power to get there on time. In fact, my business partner seems to live by the rule that if you're not 10 minutes early, you're actually late. And I've tried to incorporate that into my life. Now, there have been times when I've failed a little bit. I've been, just on time, or only 5 minutes early, or 3 minutes late. And then there have been times when I have catastrophically failed, completely failed, mostly because of something beyond my control. That's part of it. So my question to you is, would you ever be late for an appointment? Most of you are probably saying, no, of course I wouldn't. Okay, how do you think the person would feel that you were meeting with if you were late? How do you think they'd feel? Upset, angry, frustrated, not trust you anymore? Yeah, those kinds of things. Pretty serious stuff, huh? You might lose a potential client. You might lose a client that hasn't quite stepped over the mark. You might really seriously upset and offend somebody. You might squash your chances of ever getting a referral. Yeah, you can go down a complete rabbit warren of horrendous things that could happen if you were late for an appointment, depending, of course, what the appointment was and how late you were, right? Now, let's flip that over completely. What would happen? What would you do if somebody were late for an appointment? Cancel your contract, walk out of the room so that you weren't actually there when they showed up, refuse to ever meet with them again, go somewhere else for those services, slash their tires. No, you wouldn't. But you think those are things that they would do to you, right? You think if you were late, they'd be so upset, they'd stop doing business with you. And yet, if they were late, you'd say, oh, that's okay. Can I get you a coffee? You know, mine's gone cold. I was going to get another one anyway. You wouldn't even say that. You'd be really polite and sweet and kind. So why do you think other people are not going to be polite and sweet and kind to you? Chances are they will. Now, I'm not suggesting that you allow people to get away with murder and then think that it's okay for you to go out and commit murder too. That's not the point of the conversation. I'm just trying to get you used to the idea that you have rules that you decide you must abide by, which could be quite strict because self-imposed rules often are. And yet you don't apply those rules to other people as well. Now, I'm not saying that's a problem. Well, that's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm just making you aware of these different standards that you're setting, because it applies to something that you could be doing to grow your business, namely reaching out, asking for referrals and asking for testimonials. Now, let's backtrack a little bit, because that's a bit of a pain point, because we're used to realtors who will give you 2 business cards and tell you that one is for you and one is for your friend. We're used to you going to an event at some place somebody invited you for to get sold life insurance, and 5 minutes after the presentation is over, they're asking you who you can write down on a piece of paper to refer them to. Both of which, by the way, I think severely break the rules of good, polite business conduct, behavior, etiquette, whatever you want to call it. I think both of those are ghastly. Because if you haven't done business with somebody, why would you want to refer them? If you do want to refer them, you're going to know them a lot better than just getting their business card for the first time. If they're giving you a business card, you don't know each other yet. So why would you want to refer them to somebody? Why would you put your reputation at risk referring somebody that you've never done business with and you don't even know, right? Doing business is not necessarily the category. I've never done business with my best friend because, well, for a start, they're not in the US. One of them is a school teacher. She runs a private school in England. And the other one is retired now, but, well, she's partly retired. She does the bookkeeping for her husband's dry cleaning business. And they don't live in the same town as I do, right? But because I know and love those 2 people, I am going to refer them, because I know and love them and I trust them. And because I know how they operate in personal life, I know that their ethics are high, that their business behavior is going to be very good as well. In fact, possibly even better than their personal behavior. Mine is. I expect my friends to forgive me every once in a while for transgressions I wouldn't expect a client to, or a prospective client to. There again, you see, you've got this duality of rules. You know, there are different rules in different circumstances. Like I said earlier, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just asking you today in this live stream to be aware of it. Because most of you are thinking, no, I can't ask for a referral. I can't ask for a referral because, well, if someone thought I was that good, they'd have given me one already, or I made a mistake and I'm sure they're not happy with me. If I send an email to somebody asking for a referral, they're going to think that I'm desperate and I'm not doing well in my business, or that I'm fishing for compliments, or that I'm trying, I beg your pardon, or that I'm trying to get more business from them. Stop. If you received an email from somebody you had worked with that was very sweetly phrased and asked for a referral, would you be thinking those things? Oh my God, she must be desperate. She hasn't got any clients. That's why she's asking me for a referral. Oh, does she think I've forgiven her for that time that she turned up 5 minutes late for a meeting? All those things. Is that what you're thinking when someone reaches out? I'm guessing probably not, right? So why would you expect that other people that you might reach out to would be thinking that of you? Now, I know we all try very hard not to be, but we are to some degree all a little bit judgmental. But you're judging somebody's behavior, not even based on what you would behave like in the same situation. So you're assuming the worst and you would give the best. So give people a little bit of credit. Think of the best case scenario and then think of numbers, because business is always a numbers game, right? Always, always, always a numbers game. The more people you connect with, the more success you will have. Yes, you will also have more people saying no, but that doesn't matter. Again, it's a mathematical certainty. The more people you reach out to, the more people will say no, and the more people will say yes. We're focusing on the more people who say yes. So it's totally okay to send an email saying, hey, it might even be a long time since you worked together. We worked together a couple of years ago, a couple of months ago. Now that our project is finished, now that we've been working together for 6 months, and you seem to be getting on really well, would you be willing to write a testimonial for me? Would you be willing to record a 20-second testimonial for me? Would you be willing to refer me to somebody that you know? By the way, did you know, now that we've been working together for so long, however long it is, are you doing okay? Do you need any help? And then at the bottom, by the way, I'm offering this for referrals. I'd be so grateful if you could recommend me to somebody, refer me to somebody, recommend somebody to me. No, recommend me to somebody. It's totally okay to ask for that kind of help and support. We are good people here, and good people treat people well. You write a nice email asking for that, or a message on Facebook, or no, I would keep it to an email because it's more personal. It's okay to do that. It's okay to ask for referrals. It's okay to ask for testimonials. People will not think badly of you. just like you would not think badly if they reached out to ask you. Really? You wouldn't, would you? Really? Okay, so that's it for today. There are two distinct different ways of doing things. We are so hard on ourselves that we think everything's going to go wrong and nobody's going to accept, be willing to work with, be willing to help and support, do that extra step, whatever it is. We just seem to imagine, most of us, that it's something that we don't want to do. It's outside our comfort zone, and therefore it'll get pushed to the bottom of the to-do list, and all the stuff that we're comfortable with doing comes to the top. But if we look at it from the other perspective, how would we react if somebody that we had worked with asked us the question? If we were working with a coach and we had a fantastic success, or even just an amazing realization, and they said to us, you know, they sent an email saying, after that amazing idea you had or success you've had in your business, would you be kind enough to refer me? Are we going to say, oh my God, how dare you ask? No, we're not. So let's try and bring those two things a little bit closer together in two ways. First of all, let's expect people to treat us the way we would be willing to treat them, or the way we would naturally treat them. Okay, let's expect other people to behave decently to us the way that we behave to them. That's the first point. And the second point is, let's not allow people to walk over us, which goes back to the beginning where I said, you know, if somebody was late, what would you do? How much do you do for people in order to keep them happy, above and beyond what's expected? Maybe that's another conversation for another day. But I'd like you to look at those two things. So now all of you can happily and confidently send little emails out to past clients and people that you know through networking events. Don't do it to strangers or people you were hoping to do business with. Do it with people who have experienced you, either in business or, you know, on the edges of business, you know, in a networking event or group, or, you know, they've attended a webinar, or, you know, something. They've got some kind of experience about who you are and what you're like. You can do that with confidence now, right? You can get testimonials, you can get referrals. And yes, of course, reward referrals. If you want to know about rewarding referrals, send me an email, andrea@phdandfollowup.com, because we send greeting cards to say thank you. We send gifts, a Starbucks card for a cup of coffee, especially if they're a long way away and you can't meet with them face to face, or brownies, or something that will be useful, a real gift, right? Not a discount to another program we're running, or, you know, a free month to our latest software. Those aren't gifts. Nobody's going to go beyond, above and beyond in order to get that from you. It's like I've spoken to you before about when you send out birthday cards, you know, don't say, oh, happy birthday, and here's, you know, a discount for the next month from our services. You know, don't send a card saying, happy birthday, and come and get a massage and we'll give you a 50% discount. Don't bother. Just say happy birthday, right? We've talked about this before. So when you're saying thanks for the referral and you're going to give a gift, give a real gift, right? Give something that's actually real. Send them a book from Amazon, or, like I said, brownies or a Starbucks gift card, something like that, or even just a Visa gift card, $25 Visa gift card, or $10 Visa gift card, or whatever, something that's real. Because if it's real, they'll start talking about you. Not that you're trying to bribe them, but you really want to acknowledge the fact that they've done you a favor, right? So you really want to make a real statement. So reward people who do something good for you, just like you would like to get rewarded. Be kind to people. Imagine they will treat you the way that you would treat them. Because you would be kind, wouldn't you? Yes. So expect them to be kind. On the other hand, don't let yourself be taken advantage of. Okay. Any questions? Andrea@phdandfollowup.com or text or call 858-252-1190. My friends, I hope you have had a wonderful morning here. I hope what I've told you has been in some way useful and helpful to you. If you have anything particular you'd like me to talk about, let me know. You know how to reach out to me. My name, as I said before, is Andrea Kuchin. That's it for today. I look forward to seeing you here, I hope, again next Tuesday. Have a fabulous week. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.